Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're going to talk about the Collector's Vault because I was able to experience it on the live stream. Thank you to everybody that showed up, and I have some good and some bad news about it. It wasn't the best possible iteration of the Collector's Vault, but it also wasn't the worst possible thing that we could have gotten. And I know saying it could be worse is not really a comfort to people who spent a lot of gold and didn't get anything or couldn't even get into the Collector's Vault. But if it makes you feel any better, I spent 15 minutes spamming to get gold, to purchase with gold. I spent 27 million gold, and I got 0 premium items. Also, I got 0 mementos, which also means I didn't get the special item. And you also know, because it shows up every time someone wins, who it is that's getting that special item. So one person got the Mega Rank Up ticket, one person got the Mega Tier 2 ticket, one person got the CTP of Veteran, and one person got the Mega Uniform Mythic ticket.
Man, how are you guys loading the game so fast? Somebody got the tier 2. Nisa Bombay got the Mega tier 2. So this is the only one left that hasn't been rolled yet. Oh damn, I ran out of rewards for 3 of them. So it takes at least 20 million gold to get rid of 3 rewards. Man, what are the chances of getting mementos? This is wild, dude. 20 million gold, not a single memento. You got 2. Several people have 3. Yeah, I just want 1.
Now, first I want to talk about some best tips and best advice that I have for you for the next Collector's Vault, because there is one coming up, and there will be more in the future, I imagine. The first thing is, when it goes live initially, just stay on the page that it's on. Don't come out to the main page and go back in. Imagine this was the Collector's Vault. Just stay here, and when it goes live, when it changes from whatever the button says to enter, that's when you should click on enter in order to go into it. You know, don't sit there refreshing it. Just click enter. Secondly, if you don't get in on the very first initial jump into the vault when it first goes live, don't go out and back in, and also don't use the refresh button. I tried both techniques and neither of them worked successfully. It just circled. Nat, thanks for the 16-month resub. Thank you. Hey, I don't want to be disrespectful or anything to that degree, but I hope you and your family have been well. Here's 6 months. Thank you. Not disrespectful at all. We're in Poggers! But the technique that worked for me was to just keep spamming the enter button. Eventually, I mean, you'll keep getting a pop-up saying that it's full, but eventually you just keep clicking OK, and you keep clicking enter, and you will get in. Well, not everyone will get in, but I had success with that. I tried for just a couple of minutes, and I got in less than 5 minutes using that method. Now, it took about between 5 and 15 minutes for each of the slots or each of the rooms to close, each of the vaults. The only vault that closes is the vault that gets the last item unlocked. So basically, when you have all 4 vaults open, if you're in the Mega Rank Up ticket, the 6-star Mega Rank Up ticket, and someone collects the 4th memento, that person will collect the Mega Rank Up ticket, and everyone in the Mega Rank Up ticket room will get kicked out. But the other 3 rooms, the Mega Mythic Uni, the Mega Tier 2, and the Veteran CTP, those will continue to go until those get locked as well individually. So it's not a matter of the first item, it's the first in each vault. So you could technically jump to another vault if yours is among the first to be completed.
I got Gear Up Kids twice in a row. Someone got a CTP. CTP's gone. Really? Someone just got the CTP. Who?
Secondly, there is no, or I don't believe there is any rhyme or rhythm to actually pressing the button. There is something at the bottom that's moving back and forth, but I do believe that along with the lightning, is just there for aesthetics and effects. Now, I have to say, it looks really cool. The room itself, when you're going in, and I'll probably tack this on as my first positive, it looks really awesome. You have the items there on the bottom. You have the lightning at the top, and you have that kind of machine moving up and down with that kind of super prize. But then on the other side is the coolest part. You see everyone's name scrolling by super fast. People who are getting mementos get to pop up on the screen as kind of like VIPs for just a couple of seconds. It's actually really cool, and I think it's one of the most social forms of gambling I've ever seen in a mobile game. So whether that's good or bad, I don't really know. I think it's obviously better than what we have right now, which is when someone pulls an item, it just says, you know, this person got a card or got a CTP or whatever. Rather than that, you have it happening in real time, and I think it's really cool. Obviously, it adds more pressure to people who are spam clicking because you can see how many mementos people have built up, so you can see the first person to get to 2, to get to 3, to get to, well, you're not going to see them get to 4, but you know what I mean. Secondly, the second thing I have to say is that the rewards are actually not that bad. I mean, yeah, it sucks if you don't get any mementos, but I think if you get at least one memento, you're getting back the cost of what you invested. Now, for those of you that didn't get in at all, I do feel for you. I am sorry, and I do have suggestions for Netmarble as to how they can improve the Collector's Vault, because I don't think it's perfect by any means. I would probably give it like a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10 right now. But honestly, given the way that other game modes have been invented in Marvel Future Fight and have kind of stayed, sorry, not this one, they've stayed the way that they are from inception and never been touched, I do think that this is a pretty good first try, and that Netmarble can definitely improve on this build, and they can make something that is both risky and rewarding, and allows enough people to play. So in order to illustrate a little bit more, because I don't have a screenshot of what I got, unfortunately I was stupid and I clicked away at the end, I'm actually going to go over to Twitter, where a lot of the fans, you guys, were wonderful enough to send me images of what happened to you. So in this case, I'm just going to really quickly mention it one more time. You definitely just want to sit here spam clicking the enter button on whichever one you want to get in, and then you'll hopefully eventually get in. Secondly, Jonathan over here, he spent about 23 million gold. You can see he got between 3, usually around 3 to 5 of each Uru at 3 stars. Wow. He got some ISO as well. He got over 1,500 Dimension Debris, which is not a small amount for newer players. It's a lot of gold, but it's not a small amount. Over 1,000 gear up kits as well. He got quite a few type enhancements, but then he got, you know, over 300 of each Black Antimatter and Chaos Northstones. That's a pretty good amount for, you know, what you pay compared to the Shield Lab, for example, where you're paying 80,000 gold for 5 Chaos Northstones. So if you do the math on how much this costs, I mean, I'm just going to quickly pull up my calculator and do 360 multiplied by 80,000 gold. You're looking right there at 28 million gold. So if you were to purchase this much Black Ant or Chaos Northstones just from the lab, and again, not everybody does that, but you'd be already spending 28 million gold, which is 5 million gold than Jonathan spent, and he got other things along with it. So I think this does have promise. I think they need to improve the rewards just a little bit. I think you know, a 10 to 20% increase in the rewards, or maybe having fewer rewards so you can get more of the ones that you really want, may incentivize it. Possibly, you know, moving all of the type enhancements to one room in particular, so people who can't do or don't do Giant Boss Raid can spam that room for type enhancement kits. But I mean, even without any mementos, he didn't get any mementos, and he got decent rewards. Imagine if you throw in 50 CCF, or, you know, whatever the gear up, the Titan component packs or whatever, it might actually be better. I don't think I have. Oh, we have here Maverick Opinions, spent 17 million gold. He got a few fewer Uru there, less ISO 8, still almost 1,000 gear up kits. He didn't get any Dimension Debris, which is kind of unbelievable. But then he got, you know, over 100 of each of these, and this seems to be, you know, maybe a little bit more expensive than Jonathan. He seems to have gotten a little bit less lucky, but still, it's not bad. Now, do you want to spend 17 million gold on these items? That's pretty much the ultimate question. Whether you want to do so or not is really something that you have to decide on your own. However, I think if you value at least half of those items, let's say you really need gear up kits, Dimension Debris, Black Antimatter, Chaos Northstones, it might be worth it for you, because at minimum you're spending that gold to get items that you're going to need anyways, and then on the plus side, if you do roll even one memento, it suddenly becomes worth it. You know, I spent 27 million gold, I didn't get any mementos. If I had gotten 50 CCF, I mean, I don't really need CCF, but I would have been happy with that. One of the other prizes, one of the other mementos, was a mythic uniform ticket. So the Mythic uniform ticket is like this, except it's for the Legendary to Mythic upgrade. That, in my mind, is worth at least 50 million gold. That's a crazy item. It's especially valuable for paywall uniforms like Nick Fury. So if I wanted to upgrade his, it would be a perfect way to do that in a very kind of quick and painless manner, and I don't have to save up 480 bios of his, and I don't have to save up all these uniform upgrade kits and all the gold and everything. And so just the opportunity to get items like that for gold is really great. Now, having said that, there are some things that are wrong with the Collector's Vault. And I'll reiterate the ones that I've already said, but absolutely the schedule needs to be looked at. They either need to make these, I would say just make them more frequent. Rather than having one every 12 hours, do one every 6 hours, or, you know, so having them 3 times or 4 times per day, or do one every 8 hours and have them every 3 times a day. That way, every time zone will have at least one ideal spot given to them that they can actually play and compete in the Collector's Vault. It's really important when you have events like these that are so big that they take the attention. I mean, I had over 1,000 people watching the live stream, so many eyeballs. Everybody's watching in-game what's happening. Even if you're not directly playing, you're watching other people play in your alliance or your friends. You're chatting with them while they're gambling, while they're rolling through the Collector's Vault. And so having so many eyes on the game, you want that feeling of that excitement to build up more frequently. So having them split 12 hours apart, having only 2 per day, having them beneficial to North Americans and not beneficial to Europeans or Africans or Middle Eastern people is just shitty. And it doesn't really, it takes away a lot of the fun out of the event, because basically those people will feel as though they can't compete unless they stay up till 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And then if they stay up that late and they don't get any mementos, then they're going to feel like they totally got ripped off. And that is the opposite of the feeling you want from this. Now, I wouldn't suggest, I'm not saying that you should go into the Collector's Vault expecting to get all of these rewards, expecting to get multiple mementos. No. If I were you, and if you're going to go into it again, go in with low expectations so you can hopefully be surprised. However, I do think that if they have more of these events, not necessarily having the Collector's Vault open very frequently, I would like them to kind of space it out so we don't have too large of an influx of these items. You know, right now, one person in the game has a CTP of Veteran, so basically no one in the game has a CTP of Veteran. The chances of you encountering this person in Timeline Battle or Alliance Conquest, or possibly Alliance Tournament, is so tiny that it basically doesn't matter. And the other 3 items are pretty inconsequential because you can always purchase them for for crystals or for real money. But if we have too many Collector's Vaults opening, you know, if it happens every single week, then it's going to take all of the kind of magic out of it. This should be something that comes along once every other update, something like that, and it's just kind of, you know, exciting for a couple of days, for a few days, like the circus, and then it leaves again. But the circus sucks because it abuses animals. Anyways, having it multiple times per day is the first step that Netmarble needs to take in order to not punish people in awkward time zones or in just different non-American, non-Asian time zones. The second thing they need to do is increase the number of vaults. Now, I've thought about this. I've also had a lot of smart people talking to me about it. And initially, my idea was to increase the number of people in each vault. So instead of having 1,500 participants in every vault, multiply it by 10. Have 15,000 people in each vault. Therefore, more players can get into the vaults. And now keep in mind, people will leave the vaults. That's why I told you guys to keep spam clicking it. It's not like once you enter, you can be stuck there forever. If you don't buy anything, or you just run out of gold and therefore you can't buy anything, it will kick you out after, I think, 30 seconds or a minute. However, the problem with increasing the number of players in one vault is that it ruins the amount of time that it takes to discover 4 mementos. Because if you have more players playing and you have the same odds of discovering a memento, the vault will close in 1 minute. Instead of, I think the earliest vault closed in like 5 or 6 minutes, that will be the longest possible time. And so that will kind of ruin the experience, because you may end up having a vault that closes in a minute, which would just feel really awful. And for those people who genuinely want to farm the items in addition to possibly getting mementos, they won't even have that chance. So the only way to improve that scenario, if you increase the number of players in each vault, is to lower the odds of getting mementos even further. But I don't really like the way that sounds. So rather than that, I think Netmarble should double the number of vaults from 4 to 8. I think that would be kind of the best case scenario, or they could have multiple vault entries per day with different rewards that rotate. So, you know, they could have the mega rank up ticket, the mega tier 2, the CTP of veteran, and the mega mythic uniform ticket. That could be the first 4. The next 4, which are either opening at the same time or opening, you know, 4 hours later, could be a CTP of rage, a CTP of regeneration, 1 fully awakened ISO of each color, and then 1 fully awakened or 1 mythic Uru of each type. And then whoever wins gets that bundle of items. You could have another vault that has 2,500 crystals, or whatever, 5,000 crystals, whatever the equivalent would be to some, maybe 5,000 crystals would be a better equivalent for some of these items. You could have a vault that has 5,000 boost points, sectioned into increments of 1,000, so, or 10,000 boost points, or whatever. There's so many great rewards that they could do, and by having so many different types of vaults, they're encouraging more players to participate. They're giving out more variety of rewards so that players can choose what they want, and then everyone's just going to be happier that way. There's really nothing to lose by having more vaults. The sense of exclusivity is really not well sold in Marvel Future Fight. There's just too many people playing. If this game was smaller, if there were a lot, if the number of players were a lot smaller, if the community was smaller, if there weren't people on YouTube and Twitch and whatever, then maybe having 4 vaults would work. But this is just such a huge game. There's so much love. There's so many people in the community. You definitely, Netmarble, listen the fuck up. You definitely need to improve the time of the vaults for people in other parts of the world, and you need to improve the number of vaults or the number of participants per vault. Another option they could do is that once the vaults have closed, once all 4 vaults have closed, there's a cooldown period of 15 minutes, and then the vaults all reopen, but the people who won are not allowed to re-enter the same vault again. So that would be another way of kind of increasing the amount of randomness, but also allowing new people to join, and then the people who didn't win could always rejoin, but then everyone would have another shot at joining again, and you would have multiple attempts at getting in every single time that it cooled down, and it could cool down, you know, a maximum of 4 or 5 times in that 1 hour cycle. So there's a few different things that they can do. It's definitely not a perfect system, but I do think it's entertaining, it's fun to watch. I think the rewards are almost good enough, which is a huge surprise. Netmarble is usually terrible at rewards. I mean, there's so many game modes that came out with complete garbage rewards, and they needed to be reworked, and they needed to be improved for the rewards to actually match the effort. They had to buff the giant boss raid rewards. We're still waiting for buffs to Shadowland. We're also waiting for new game modes. Don't get me started. But I think this is a good first try. I commend Netmarble for the... I don't commend them, but thank you, I guess, for the effort in trying to create something new and something fun and something that we can kind of gamble safely with, because very few players are actually spending real money to amass gold, and those that do can do so in a more controlled fashion, because it takes, you know, weeks or months to grind up millions of gold, and then you can spend it, rather than, you know, furiously clicking your credit card to get, you know, tens of thousands of more crystals in a hurry to purchase, you know, CTP chests or card chests. I think the gold gambling is a little bit safer for those kind of itchy fingers in general, myself included. So let me know what you guys think of the Collector's Vault. Let me know what you think of my tips. Let me know what you think of the good. Let me know what you think of the criticisms I have and what you would add to that or what you would change. Also, let Netmarble know. Hit them up on Twitter. Hit them up on the official forums, etc. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.
It's me, damn it. Let me in. Dude, let me in.